I might as well make the video on teardown of an AEG rifle while we're going to be painting it. So obviously you want to take off any rail system that you have or anything like that. And then we're going to take these out. All right, let me put down the camera to break this loose right here. You kind of just hold the weapon up and wiggle the rail system, and it'll come off of here like so. And you can actually pull it completely off. And then real quick, I'm going to pop this off here. So I'm just going to take this and put it on here and tap the end of it with something just to get this pin to start falling out. So you tap on it on that side, it'll start poking its way out here. I had to give it a couple more taps, and now it's out. Let me just get the receiver broke loose. So the way that you break the receiver loose is just to push forward on this whole assembly. And there will be a slight catch on the gearbox right about here that you'll have to pull your hop-up cocking thing back, your hop-up lever, and then it'll let it go over that little bump, and then you can slide the whole thing off. Okay, so I've actually cleared the notch, and you can see it right there. Once you clear that notch, your receiver comes right off. Your upper receiver comes right off of here, no problem. And you have some stuff on the inside and your barrel and etc. Probably should have had my clip out of it. That's okay. Alright, so I'm going to take out, let's see here. First we're going to get this back piece off of here, and then we'll take out some of the pins here and here and get it so that we can take this receiver box out. So I just pulled this off first just by, using its levers to release it. I took this thing out of here, which reveals the battery that I have in it. Pop that off of there. I use EC5 plugs. I have, a little bit higher end plugs laying around all over the place. And I prefer bullet connectors. Deans are good, but for me they're kind of a thing of the past. I'm much bigger on bullet connectors. I am going to get that bolt out of there right there. And then this metal piece will come off of here. Take the bolt out, kind of flip the weapon this way and shake out the screw and the retaining washer. I guess we'll put that with the rest of the hardware. And then you can pull this straight off. I guess I'll actually be taking off my QD mount. I don't want to paint that. On this particular gun, this piece right here literally just slides out. Some weapons have a pin that holds this in. This, like my ARP, has an actual pin in it that holds that. But this one just slips out. Real quick, we'll take apart this. One screw, this right here, this completely pulls off, and then you always have a spring behind it. That's for your mag release. And then that piece right there will just drop out. That's the piece that was on the other side, right there. Alright, so we got them loosened up. We can pull that one out, this one out. And I'm actually going to take this off as well because I'm not going to be painting that. I like how that looks black. And it's a piece of aluminum, so I'd like to leave it like that. Oh, I forgot. I have to take my motor out. We'll show that real quick. This particular one, you just pinch these together and pull this up here. Once you're there, I mean, your motor is literally just sitting in here. It's not like mounted or anything like that. I just disconnect the positive and negative. I did have to use a little something to pry on here. I needed both of my hands just to get it started coming out. But there it is right there. While I'm in here, since I'm taking it apart, I figured, you know, dual purpose here. I'm going to be, you know, camoing the weapon. So I do have a couple other goodies. A SUS 304 6.01 type bore barrel. SP 110 spring, just to get me a little bit more FPS out of this. And then a Crytek motor. I don't think that this is much better than the one that I have. I'm just thinking maybe it'll be more reliable. But I actually got these 3 items used on eBay. I think it was 15 bucks and then like $4 or $5 shipping. So I really couldn't pass it up just to throw some extra goodies into a different weapon. So after we pull the motor, you can look down in there. We have some screws that are holding this hand grip on. I'm going to pull those screws out and then we'll pull the handguard. Alright, we got the 4 screws that were in there out of there. You can go ahead and slide the hand grip off. I'll go ahead and get this out of here as well. You just kind of pry that thing out of there after you take the 1 pin out of it. Alright, let's remove the gearbox. Most gearboxes come out from pushing the back of the gearbox up first. So you just push the back of the gearbox up and then it'll slide out for you. You got your wires that are back here for your battery. So this is a rear wired gearbox, and then you have your 2 that were for your motor. And there's that. Just set the gearbox off to the side. This gearbox housing is kind of funny. It has this little piece right here that's actually just sitting on there. It's just pressed in. You pop that off, and then you have access to a little screw in there, and that's what holds your selector switch on. So we will take that out real quick. Just note that when you take off selector switches, they're either going to have something like this, a little pin and a spring, or some of them just actually have a single steel ball bearing. Very, very easy to lose those pieces. So just remember when you take those apart that those are easy to fall off of there. So there's that piece. Put that off to the side. To be honest, these are the only parts that I try and keep separated because they're so easy to lose. So on this particular M4, you have a set screw right there and 2 of them up top to take out your outer barrel, just so we don't get paint on it. So this thing that pops open your hop up has 1 screw right there. We're going to pull that and then that'll come out. Alright, we got that out of there. Now, this part's a little bit annoying. So to get this shell ejection cover off of here, I actually have a C-clip right there. It's not too bad to take off, but it's a little bit ridiculous to put back on. And then we have one pin right there to pull this out. Let me grab those. Alright, so we got the shell ejection cover off of here. That's that right there. Spring that goes on it. That actually kind of popped out and went flying a little bit. Luckily, I didn't lose it. Alright. And just this here. Okay, we got that out. There is a spring in there, so just make sure that you don't lose that. Now we have all of our parts ready to paint.